Welcome to the Crossroads Conference Volleyball Tournament. We have the 3 seed Dorchester Lady Longhorns going up against the number 6 Cross County Lady Cougars. Cougars won their last match against East Butler in 2 sets, and they are looking for more here. Looking to get into the quarterfinals here. Starting lineups for the Lady Cougars. Number 10, Tierney Schotch. Number 12, Brycelyn Larson. Number 13, Eden Peterson. Number 16, Ava Pruder. Number 19, Cortina Donnelly. Number 22, Sydney Engelfelt. Number 24, Chesney Sundberg is the libero. For the Lady Longhorns, number 3, Bayla Behrens. Number 6, Lily Lair. Number 9, Jace Yeager. Number 10, Savannah June. Number 11, Atlee Zubek. Number 15, Bailey Tice. And the libero is number 2, Gabby Tice. Serving was number 13, Eden Peterson. And that's going to go point Cougars here as they take the early lead, 1-0. Peterson with the serve. Longhorns receive. They set up with the return. And the Cougars just bump it over. Longhorns have the ball again. They go for the kill, but Cougars handle it nicely. The Cougars bump it over yet again. Longhorns set up and a pushover, but the Cougars were ready, and a push from the Cougars. Nothing doing there. Good little volley going on here. Kill from the Longhorns fails. Cougars try one. They don't get it either. It's back and forth right now. Nobody giving an inch. Cougars with the ball, setting up, and that one's not going to go. Longhorns aren't able to set anything up, so they just bump it back over. Cougars back with it. They try a push over. Nothing. This is a heck of a volley, folks. You don't see these very often. Neither team given an inch, and that one goes long from the Longhorns. Point Cougars as they take a 2-0 lead now here early on in the first set of the quarterfinals. Longhorns with the return. Good save by the Cougars. They just bump it over. No kill for them. And a kill attempt from the Longhorns, but it's blocked at the net. Longhorns get it back, send it back over. Now the Cougars set up for a kill, and they get it. Point Cougars. And they are up early, 3-0 here in the first set. Peterson with the serve, handled by the Longhorns. Longhorns set up for a kill, and they get it. Just inside the line. And the Longhorns are on the board for the first time. Serving for the Longhorns is number 10, Savannah June. They are down 3-1 currently. And a little pushover from the Cougars. Same thing from the Longhorns. Cougars go for a kill. It's blocked at the net and comes back onto their side. Point Longhorns. And they are now down only 3-2. Longhorns looking to make a comeback after going on an 0-3 run to start the game. A little miscommunication there from the Cougars. They make the return. Now the Longhorns set up, and nothing doing there for them. Cougars handle it nicely. Same thing from the Cougars. Longhorns set up, and that one goes long. Longhorns are going to have to wait to tie this one up. That's point Cougars. They lead 4-2. Coming in to serve now is number 1, Ella Kramer. Longhorns set up a return, and that's a kill. That's going to be point Longhorns. They are now down 3-4 now. Cougars set up a return. Longhorns handle it nicely. Push it back over. Now the Cougars go for a kill. They're blocked at the net, but they recover. Another kill again, but this one goes long. Point Longhorns, and this game is tied at 4. Also serving for the Longhorns is number 15, Bailey Tice. And that's going to be a service error from Tice. And in comes number 9, Lucy Berggren, to serve for the Cougars. That was Point Cougars on that last point there. They lead 5-4. Berggren with the serve. Longhorns handle it. They set their return up. Hit back over. That's a kill. And they bring it back to evens at 5. Now serving for the Longhorns, number 6, Lily Lair. We're all tied up here at 5 here in the first set. Lair with the serve. Cougars handle it. They set up their return. Kill attempt gets blocked, comes back onto their side and juggled around. And that's going to be Point Longhorns. And the Longhorns have their first lead of the game. They lead 6-5. Cougars still very much in this. Cougars handle the return nicely. And it gets tipped at the net. The Longhorns tipped it back onto the Cougar side. They had to scramble for it, but eventually got it back over. The Longhorns set it up, and the Cougars handle their return fine. Cougars bump it back over. Longhorns set up for a kill, and they're going to get it. Point Longhorns. And they continue their lead, 7-5 now. Winner of this game will go on to the semifinals game tomorrow here at 6 p.m. at the York Auditorium. Lair with the serve. The Cougars set up for the kill, didn't get it. Longhorns tipped off the net, and the return to the Cougars. The Cougars just give it a little push, and that's Point Cougars. As they now are only down 7-6 now. Longhorns still lead the Cougars. In the serve for the Cougars, number 7, Finley Peterson. Longhorns take the serve, and the set goes over the net. Cougars tipped it back down, back on the Longhorn side. Longhorns return. Now the Cougars set up. And then the Cougars spike it down onto their side of the net. Point Longhorns. And they lead 8-6 now. Serving for the Longhorns is number 3, Baylor Barons. And the Cougars handle the return. Now back to the Longhorns. They try to set one up. A little miscommunication there. Cougars try to take advantage of it, set up for the kill, and they get it. Kill for the Cougars makes it Point Cougars. And they are now down 8-7. Serving for the Cougars is number 22, Sydney Hengelfeldt. Longhorns set up their return. They just go with the push. Now back to the Cougars. Cougars go for a kill, but the Longhorns dig it out. Longhorns just hit it back over. No attack there. Same with the Cougars. A little push over from the Longhorns and a push over from the Cougars. And a kill attempt by the Longhorns. Not quite there. Cougars make their return as the Longhorns now set theirs up. And nothing doing there. Cougars setting theirs up. And once again, another good volley, but the Cougars just give it a little push over the net. Point Cougars, as we're back to being tied up. We're tied up at 8 here in the first set. Hengelfeldt with the serve. The Longhorns receive, and they get stuffed at the net. Ball goes back down onto their side. That's going to be Point Cougars. And the Cougars back in the lead now. They lead 9-8. Engelfeld with the serve. Longhorns set up their return, hit it back over. Cougars trying to tip or push over. They got blocked, and a kill attempt's blocked too. And that's going to be Longhorns point. Point Longhorns. And we're going to be all tied up at 9s here as number 11, Atlee Zubak, is on for the serve. And a little weird return there, but nonetheless, the Cougars got it back. And a kill by the Longhorns. Point Longhorns. Now the Longhorns have the lead back. They lead 10-9. This has been a great set so far, folks. Each team going back and forth and a pushover, but a net violation. And that's going to give the point back to the Longhorns. Otherwise, Cougars would have had a point there. Longhorns lead at 11-9 now. Zubak still to serve. Handled by the Cougars. Going for a kill attempt, and they get it. Cougars back on the board. And they're down 1. It's 11-10. Longhorns as number 24, Chesney Sundberg, will serve for the Cougars. The Longhorns receive it. They set their attack up. Just a little hit over. And the Cougars go for a kill, and it hits straight off the chest of a Cougar, or a Longhorn, I should say, and out of bounds. That's going to be point Cougar, and we're tied up at 11s now. This game is back and forth, folks. And the service error goes wide to the left. And that's going to be point Longhorns. Serving for the Longhorns is the libero, number 2, Gabby Tice. And the serve is received, pushed over. Now the Longhorns set up an attack. And they're going to call a double hit or a net violation. Looked like 2 different calls there. Not sure which one they went with, but either way, point Longhorns. And that's an ace serve by number 3, Bailey Behrens. Or sorry, that was still number 2, Gabby Tice. Longhorns lead 14-11. Serve received by the Cougars. They set their attack up, and there it is, another kill. Point Cougars, they're not going down. Cougars behind 14-12. Serving for them is number 13, Eden Peterson. Peterson with the serve. Longhorns try to set up their return, and they tried to go for a pushover. Nothing going on there. They couldn't get it quite across the net. Point Cougars. Cougars down. Bring themselves within 1. It's 14-3. Or sorry, 14-13. And point Cougars again. 4 hits. Cougars have it tied back up. Man, whichever team gets ahead, the other team usually ends up tying it up, and then they take the lead, and it is just back and forth. As the Longhorns receive it, and they hit it back over. Cougars set up their attack. It gets tipped at the line. And the Longhorns kill attempt goes long. That gives the Cougars the lead back. They lead 15-14. Longhorns receive it, and they get stuffed. But it falls on the Cougars' side. That's going to be point Longhorns, and we're tied up again here at 15. Nobody has had a lead of more than 3, I believe. Definitely not more than that. Maybe even 2. As that was Atlee Zubak on the serve for the Longhorns. And the Cougars tip it over and get the point. Point Cougars, they lead 16-15 as they grab the lead back. In to serve for them is number 1, Ella Kramer. Longhorns receive, and they're going to call a double hit. That's going to be point Cougars. They lead 17-15. And a muffed set there gives the Cougars a point. They lead 18-15. Longhorn's going to call a timeout, and so are we. We'll be back with you in 30 seconds here on Strive TV.
This is Craig Yurkowski with Ag West Land Brokers. I'm excited to be a part of the Ag West Land Brokers team. With over 25 years being in production agriculture, let me put my experience to work for you.
CRC coverage is brought to you by
Anderson Insurance Agency, the Physical Therapy Department at Annie Jeffrey Memorial Health Center, Aurora Cooperative, Banana Rams, Bank of Clarks, and Carlson Construction.
Be sure to visit Southeast Valley Irrigation and Pruning for all of your Valley Pivot needs, or call them today, 402-353-6775.
And we're back here with you live at the Crossroads Conference Volleyball Tournament on Strive TV. Crossroads Conference Volleyball Tournament is brought to you by Nutrien Ag Solutions, Kreitl Enterprises, Browning Grocery, Lavenders of York, Shickley Grain, Baum's Burger Welding, Grand Central Foods, Copes Odie CPAs and Advisors, York General, Edgewater Insurance in Osceola, and Waiver Repair in Geneva. Thank you to all our amazing sponsors out there for making this possible. It is 18-15 in favor of the Cougars here in set 1 of the quarterfinals. Cougars on the attack, and they'll get the kill. This is the largest lead of the day for either team, as the Cougars lead 19-15, and that is still number 1, Ella Kramer back there, serving for the Cougars. The Longhorns are on their heels. Longhorns receive the serve. They set up their attack and gets tipped at the line, and it falls. That's going to be a kill for the Longhorns. They're behind by 3, 19-16, Cougars lead. To serve for the Longhorns is number 15, Bailey Tice. And serves received by the Cougars, and they're just going to bump it over. No attack here. The Longhorns set up for an attack, and it's handled by the Cougars. Cougars set up for one. Handled by the Longhorns. Oh! A little miscommunication there. And an errant hit, and it's point Cougars. It is now 20-16 in favor of the Cougars. Checking in to serve for the Cougars, number 9, Lucy Berggren. And a timeout is called by the Cougars. We will, or sorry, not the Cougars, the Longhorns. We will take another one as well. We'll be back in 30 seconds on Strive TV.
CRC coverage is brought to you by
Carlstrom Electric, Central Car Wash, Central City Veterinary Clinic, Central Valley Ag Cooperative, Clark's Ag Supply, Cedar Valley Company, Clark's LLC, and Clark's Locker.
It is reassuring to know that specialized medical care for you and your family is available in Polk County. At Annie Jeffrey Health Center, we are committed to providing you the highest quality health care available.
Cornerstone Bank is committed to providing you game-changing solutions for your financial needs. Bank on a solid foundation. Cornerstone Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Welcome back to the Crossroads Conference Volleyball Tournament, and it is brought to you by Nutrien Ag Solutions, Kreitl Enterprises, Browning Grocery, Lavenders of York, Shickley Grain, and Baum's Burger Welding. Thank you to our amazing sponsors out there. As number 9, Lucy Berggren gives the serve for the Cougars. They lead 20-16. The Cougars go on the attack. It's tipped at the line, but the Longhorns handle it perfectly. And a bump over. The Longhorns thought it was going to go long, and it didn't. Point Cougars. The Cougars looking to pull off a little bit of an upset here. They lead 21-16. This is the largest lead of the day for either team. Berggren serves. Longhorns handle it. And that one goes long from the Longhorns. That's going to be point Cougars. And they lead 22-16 as they inch closer to winning the first set. And Longhorns receive the serve. Kick it back over to the Cougars, and the Cougars send it long. That's going to be point Longhorns. They're down 22-17. That's going to bring up number 6, Lily Laird, to serve for the Longhorns. As they're going to try to fight their way back. Received by the Cougars. Cougars go on the attack. Tipped at the line. The Longhorns handle with ease. They go try to set up an attack of their own. And it's out. It goes wide off the Longhorns. And that's going to go back to the Cougars, point Cougars. It's going to bring on number 7, Finley Peterson, to serve. She tries to close this out. Cougars ahead 23-17. Longhorns go on the attack. Back over to the Cougars. The Cougars push it over. Back to the Longhorns. Longhorns, nothing doing there. Attack by the Cougars. Handled by the Longhorns. Longhorns try to go for a kill, and they get it. Point Longhorns. And they're down 23-18. That's going to bring on number 3, Baylor Barons, for the serve. And just a little pushover, lands inbounds for the Cougars. And that's point set. 24-18. The Cougars lead, and that's going to bring on number 22, Sydney Hengelfelt, to secure the win. Cougars go on the attack. Longhorns handle it. Received by the Cougars. Cougars try again. Longhorns standing tough. They're not ready for this to be done. Cougars try again and into the net. Point Longhorns. That brings the score to 24-19. And serving now for the Longhorns, number 11, Atlee Zubek. Zubek with the serve and service error. Game 1 goes to the Cougars as they win it 25-19. And we will take a quick break here in between sets. We'll see you in roughly a minute here on Strive TV.
CRC coverage is brought to you by
Clint Hoffman with Trados, Cornerstone Bank, Cornerstone Insurance Group, Dash Farms Incorporated, Flatland Mobile Service LLC, and First State Bank.
For any of your heating and air conditioning needs, call McCool Heating and AC, your Daikin Comfort Pros at 402-724-2305. McCool Heating and Air proudly supports Mustang Athletics.
Auto Owners Insurance, the no problem people.
This is Alan Odepal, Odepal Insurance, at 4th and Grant in Yorktown Center. Insurance is our only business.
CRC coverage is brought to you by
Gavilan Grain, Hamilton Telephone Company, and Midstate Community TV, Hans Service LLC, Harless Oil Company, and Harmony Daylily Farm and Nursery.
At Paliseed, we believe in grown from the ground up, from the field of play to the cornfield. We are proud to support high school athletes.
CRC coverage is brought to you by
Portville Shop Incorporated, Greg Fowler, Automotive Specialist, Carrie Joe's Catering, Quick Shop, Mr. K. Angus, Myers Insurance, and Northeast Nebraska Telephone Company.
CRC coverage is brought to you by
Polk County Rural Public Power District, Polk Service and Repair, Sandell Electric Incorporated, and Solt Wagner Funeral Home.
Be sure to visit Southeast Valley Irrigation and Pruning for all of your Valley Pivot needs, or call them today, 402-353-6775.
CRC coverage is brought to you by
Strobel Energy Group, Strobel Manufacturing Incorporated, The Meat Hook, Top Game Industries, and Studio G Photography by Shelley Garrett.
Cornerstone Bank is committed to providing you game-changing solutions for your financial needs. Bank on a solid foundation. Cornerstone Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
CRC coverage is brought to you by
Brick Roads Grill and Distillery, Deerskin Construction, Concrete and Residential Construction, Little Storm Childcare, Resilient Rehab LLC, and True North Wellness and Medical.
This is Craig Yurkowski with
Welcome back to the Crossroads Conference Volleyball Tournament. It is presented by Grand Central Foods, Copes Odie, CPAs and Advisors, York General, Edgewater Insurance in Osceola, and Weaver Repair in Geneva. The Cross County Lady Cougars taking set one, 25-19, pulling off a little bit of an upset, and they're looking to make a trip to the quarterfinals. Sorry, the semifinals. That was the Longhorns on the serve. Cougars responding nicely. They go for a kill. They get it. Cougars pick up where they left off. They lead 1-0 here in the second set. Serving for the Cougars is number 13, Eden Peterson. Longhorns receive it. They set up their attack. Tipped at the line, but still handled by the Cougars. They go on their attack. They just push it over. Longhorns try to set up their attack. And they get it. Just sneaking in. And they're tying it up at 1-1 now. Serving for the Lady Longhorns, it'll be number 2, Gabby Tice. Serve received by the Cougars. They go for an attack, but the Longhorns handle it nicely. Longhorns attack, but nothing doing there. And the bump looked like it was going to make it over the net. That's what the Cougars thought, but it didn't quite land it on their side. And that's going to be point Longhorns. Longhorns lead 2-1. Bump over by the Cougars. A little miscommunication there. And that one's going to go wide. That's going to be point Longhorns. They lead at 3-1. And service error there. That's going to give it point Cougars. That's going to bring on number 1, Ella Kramer, to serve for the Cougars. Longhorns get it over, and they get it in. Point Longhorns. And they get the ball back here. Serving for them is number 10, Savannah June. Longhorns lead 4-2. Received by the Cougars. Goes over the net. The bump went over the net. And that was free game for the Longhorns as they get the kill. 5-2 now. Cougars not looking the same as they did in their first game. They're looking to make a little bit of a comeback here, and they're just going to push it over here. Longhorns set up for an attack. Not a whole lot going on there. Received by the Cougars. Cougars push it over and get it just inbounds. That's going to be point Cougars. And they're behind 5-3. That's going to bring in number 9, Lucy Bergen, for the serve. And the Longhorns received it and sent it wide. Point Cougars. They're within 1. It's 5-4. Serve received by the Longhorns. They go for a kill. They don't get it. Good save there. Cougars on the attack, but the Longhorns handle it nicely. And the Longhorns get stuffed, but it goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Cougars. That is point Longhorns. They lead 6-4. Serving for the Longhorns is number 15, Bailey Tice. The Cougars go on the attack. Longhorns handle it. Longhorns try one, but the Cougars handle that. Cougars back on it, and it goes into the nets. Point Longhorns. Longhorns lead 7-4. Cougars kind of with some self-inflicted injuries here in the second game. Not playing like they did in the first one. They receive the serve, go for the kill. It gets blocked at the line, but returned by the Longhorns. Cougars with the attack. Nothing going on there. Longhorns going to try one. It goes to the net. They're going to rule that a net violation, I believe. And that's going to be point Cougars. Cougars down 7-5. Certainly still in this one here. It brings on number 7, Finley Peterson, to serve for them. Cougars try to go on the attack, but the set was just a little too far out of reach. Point Longhorns. That brings on number 6, Lily Lair, to serve for the Longhorns as they lead 8-5. And an attack by the Cougars. Somehow the Longhorns get it back to the Cougars side and make a return. I don't know how they did that, but the Cougars try another one. And the line judge says it's in there. And that's going to be point Cougars. They're down 2, 8-6. It's going to bring on number 22, Sydney Hengelfelt, for the serve. Longhorns set up their attack. Received by the Cougars. They're setting up theirs. They're just going to bump it over. Longhorns going to try it again. Tipped at the line. Cougars setting up now. Little tip over, and it's going to be a net violation on the Longhorns. That's point Cougars. Cougars within 1, down 8-7. Longhorns on the attack. Blocked! And the Cougars even it up. Now they're looking the same as they did in that first set. They tie it up 8-8, looking to take the lead here. Longhorns set up their attack. And they get stuffed again! What a great job by this Cougar defense. They take the lead. They are ahead 9-8 now. Here's the serve from Hengelfelt. The bump goes over the net. Cougars shove it down, but the Longhorns prevail. Push over from the Longhorns. Cougars setting up their attack. And they're going to get it. Kill for the Cougars. They lead at 10-8. And timeout called by the Longhorns. We're going to take one too. We'll see you back here in 30 seconds on Strive TV.
Bruning Grain and Feed, your full-service elevator, serving your grain and fertilizer needs. Also, custom blending your livestock feeds. Bruning Grain and Feed, where great service and quality are number one.
CRC coverage is brought to you by
Anderson Insurance Agency, the Physical Therapy Department at Annie Jeffrey Memorial Health Center, Aurora Cooperative, Banana Rams, Bank of Clarks, and Carlson Construction.
Carlson Irrigation is in the business of solutions, and teamed with Ranke Solutions are what they deliver. Ranke, more right than rain, and Carlson Irrigation, your local irrigation solutions expert.
Welcome back to the Crossroads Conference Volleyball Tournament. Cougars lead it here in set 2, 10-8. They won set 1, 25-19. The Crossroads Conference Volleyball Tournament is brought to you by Nutrien Ag Solutions, Krytel Enterprises, Bread and Grocery, Levenders of York, Shakely Grain, and Baumsberger Welding. Thank you to our sponsors. Engelfelt with the serve. Longhorns receive. They return it, but just a tad long. And that's going to be point Cougars. Cougars, after being down a little bit in this game, are making a comeback and trying to run away with it here. They lead 11-8 now. Serve received by the Longhorns. Go with the attack here. And just a little dink over the net, but it falls into no man's land. Point Cougars. And they lead 12-8 now. And the Longhorns not able to receive the serve. It falls short of the net. That's point Cougars, 13-8 now. Longhorns trying to get back in this game. Cougars on the attack. They're going to get it. Point Cougars, and they're starting to run away with it now. It is 14-8, and another timeout already for the Longhorns. We're going to take one, too, here on Strive TV.
CRC coverage is brought to you by
Carlstrom Electric, Central Car Wash, Central City Veterinary Clinic, Central Valley Ag Cooperative, Clark's Ag Supply, Cedar Valley Company, Clark's LLC, and Clark's Locker.
Plain talk, exceptional results. That's what you get when you partner with Norder Supply, your local full-service agronomy specialist since 1976. Norder Supply is proud to support our area athletes.
Cornerstone Bank is committed to providing you game-changing solutions for your financial needs. Bank on a solid foundation. Cornerstone Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
And we are back at the York Auditorium for the Crossroads Conference Volleyball Tournament, which is brought to you by Grand Central Foods, Cope Saodi CPAs and Advisors, York General, Edgewater Insurance in Osceola, and Weaver Repair in Geneva. Thank you to our sponsors for making this possible. Cougars lead 14-8 and are up 1-0. Looking to book a trip to the quarterfinals. As we have a pretty decent volley going here. And tipped out the line and just couldn't get handled. So after a long dry spell from scoring, the Longhorns finally get back on the board. Serving for them is number 3, Baylor Barons. And a tip over, but gets handled by the Longhorns. And this one's going to fly into the net. Point Cougars. So the Cougars let one up. But not anymore, at least for right now. They go back on the attack. Serving for the Cougars, number 24, the Lumbero, Chesney Sunberg. Cougars setting up their attack. And it was received by the Longhorns, but the second hit went into the net. And that's going to be point Cougars. Cougars up 16-9 now. Largest lead over either of these two sets by far. And that's going to be another point Cougars. Cougars up 17-9. As the Longhorns look like they're doing some setups. Number 5 comes in, Olivia Schweitzer. Cougars ahead 17-9. And a kill there for the Cougars. And it's Point Cougars again. They are looking to pull off a serious upset. As they are up 18-9. And the Longhorns' return gets blocked at the net and falls to the ground inbounds. That's Point Cougars. They're up 19-9. Serve. Received, but goes over. Tipped back to the Longhorns. Now the Cougars try to set up. And that one's going to go a little long. And that's going to be Point Longhorns. Longhorns not going down without a fight, and they certainly don't want to go home quite yet. They're going to try to make this a game. And the serve goes wide. It's Point Cougars. And into serve for the Cougars, number 13, Eden Peterson. Cougars up 20-10. And they go for a kill, but the Longhorns handle it, but they'll just bump it back over. Cougars looking to set it up again. And the Longhorns handle this one. Longhorns try one of their own, and it doesn't make it over the net. It would have been a fourth hit if any of them tried to hit it back. Point Cougars, 21-10. And that one bounces off the Longhorns, goes out of bounds. A serve. Point Cougars again, up 22-10. Peterson with the serve, received by the Longhorns. Longhorns make their return. Now the Cougars go on the attack, and it bounces off a couple of Longhorns who tried to block it and goes out of bounds. Point Cougars. And Cougars are 2 points away from the quarterfinals. They lead 23-10, and another Point Cougars as they just tip it back over the net. It falls on the ground, and it is point set. Served by Peterson is received by the Longhorns, and it goes wide. The Cougars, the cross-county Cougars, pull off the upset. 25-11 is your final here. They will move on and face the winner of this next game on Monday. So far what we have lined up, the number 1 seed BDS is going up against High Plains on Monday here at the York Auditorium at 7:30 p.m. And Cross County is moving on to the other game that will be played. Their opponent is to be determined. That game will be decided here between Meridian, number 2 Meridian, number 7 Osceola. We're going to take a break, and we are going to be back for the start of our final game today in about 20 to 30 minutes, folks. You are watching Strive TV.